Russia threatens to hit Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming with a hypersonic or nuclear missile in order to trigger the supervolcano that sits under it. Student loan debt forgiveness is being heard by the Supreme Court, and the Energy Department of the United States has now publicly said the likelihood of COVID coming from the Wuhan lab is definitely the source of the outbreak. Thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos. The $10,000 cash giveaway that Casey and I are doing, thanks to generous video sponsors, ends in just a couple of days. So watch to the end of this video where I'll give you the final instructions. The Supreme Court will decide if President Biden's student debt forgiveness program is constitutional or not. Biden plans to argue that the current education secretary has the right to forgive debt during a pandemic using the HEROES Act. However, it is unclear if the conservative-heavy Supreme Court will side with Biden or, as some critics have suggested, limit his authority to do such a thing. Now, what do you think will happen? This seems to have the country divided. Those that have student loan debt, this is an answer to their prayers. And those that don't or have already paid it off say this is unnecessary and unfair. One of Putin's self-proclaimed military experts, Konstantin Sivkov, has claimed that Russia could strike America's Yellowstone supervolcano with a nuke or hypersonic missile if it wanted. He stated that the strike would cause a mass eruption that could take out nearly half the country. German professor Johann Gutenberg admitted the situation was possible, but concluded that Russia likely won't make this move or else the world would end in nuclear warfare attacks. Basically, they would fire a missile and the rest of the United States would counter fire missiles, and it would end up just basically blowing everything to kingdom come. So either way, this is something that could happen and is pretty scary if it were to be hit, as it could trigger that eruption. But I think what's scarier is that people are sitting around in Russia right now coming up with ways to make attacks that would inflict maximum damage on NATO nations or amplify a natural disaster leading to more death and more destruction. As Russia continues to threaten its competition, President Putin has continued to play victim by stating, in today's conditions when all the leading NATO countries have declared their main goal as inflicting a strategic defeat on us, Russia, so that our people suffer, as they say, how can we ignore their nuclear possibilities in these conditions? I do not even know if such an ethnic group as the Russian people will be able to survive in the form in which it exists today. Now, while I do agree that the West is likely using this opportunity to humble Russia, it's not good to have a world leader controlling thousands of nuclear bombs feeling backed into a corner, believing that NATO wants to wipe his nationality off the earth. So this is going from like a war between Russia and Ukraine to a war between NATO and Russia to now Russia feeling like this is genocide and they're feeling backed into a corner. So this is where it gets scary because paranoia and fear could easily overtake reason and then dumb decisions are made. Senator Lindsey Graham says he wants the United States military to send F-16 jets to Ukraine to take down Putin and ensure that Zelensky wins. Ukrainian President Zelensky warned that Americans who don't support giving aid to Ukraine risk losing NATO, U.S. clout, and leadership position globally. Zelensky believes that if Putin captures Ukraine, he will continue to threaten NATO countries, forcing the United States to send their own soldiers into war. It's unclear if Zelensky is trying to scare Americans into continuing to support Ukraine or if his warning has any validity. But let me know your thoughts down below. Do you feel like this is kind of becoming blackmail or war shame, where it's like, hey, if you don't support giving us all your money and all your weapons, then you're just as bad as Putin, right? That's kind of the way that it comes across. The Wall Street Journal has reported that the White House and members of Congress provided them with a classified intelligence report from the Energy Department of the United States, which claims the COVID pandemic most likely arose from a laboratory leak in Wuhan, China. Following the release of the story, Republican Senator Rand Paul stated that the documents all need to be declassified. Republican Senator Josh Hawley went a step further and committed to introducing legislation that would declassify the government's intelligence reports on everything to do with COVID. Now, China, of course, denies the lab leak theory and says the United States is trying to paint them as evil. A new report out of China shows that China might not have been honest with the world when it comes to how much gold they are buying and holding. Analysts are saying that the private bank and the public bank, the People's Bank of China, or the PBOC, likely bought twice as much gold last year as was publicly reported. To keep it secret, they made it look like one central bank was buying, when in reality, both banks were buying the same amount. That way they could hide how much they were buying and hoarding to throw people off. Now, it's not clear what they're trying to do. This could be their belief that by having a gold-backed currency, like before the 1970s, it increases their chances of becoming the new dominant world reserve currency. But as of right now, we don't really know what China's intentions are. Now, speaking of gold, I want to tell you about an amazing gold mining company that I believe is super undervalued and recently had a price pullback, which could be a huge money-making opportunity for you. The company is Gold Mining Inc., and they are a New York Stock Exchange company, ticker symbol GLDG. Now, did you know the industry standard for gold evaluation is around $30 an ounce on average? Well, Gold Mining Inc. is valued at around $4 an ounce, which means that they are significantly undervalued on the public exchanges. Gold Mining Inc. has 14 mining projects across 5 different countries, so they're very well diversified. Now, according to their verified geology reports, the company is sitting on 32 million ounces of measured, indicated, and inferred gold. During the past few years, Gold Mining Inc.'s management team has been buying up mining opportunities in key locations, and they are now showing the results of those wise purchases. They've also attracted some big investors because of what I'm about to show you. Right now, the group is valued at about $170 million, with $45 million of that being cash on hand and assets on their books. So they aren't debt heavy. They are an asset heavy company. Now, earlier I mentioned how gold is valued at around $30 an ounce in the ground. Well, Gold Mining Inc. has 32 million ounces of gold, plus the 45 million in cash and assets, meaning that this company is valued closer to $1 billion, but it's trading on the New York Stock Exchange as if it's just over $100 million. So huge difference in where it is and where it should be. Now, the group has attracted big investors like Rick Rule, who goes on just about every big stock show talking about stocks, mining stocks, gold and silver. He's been a famous investor that has chosen really brilliant stock moves for over 40 years now. They also have Doug Casey, as well as Marin Katusa, who has been called one of the smartest mining investors ever to live. Plus, the company has incredible management like Alistair Still, who is the CEO, a man with 25 years of gold mining experience. Plus, they have Amir Adnani, who founded the company and now sits on the board of directors, as well as David Garofalo, who was the former CEO of Gold Corp before they were bought out for millions and millions of dollars by Newmont Gold. So Gold Mining Inc. has a very robust management team that continues to grow their value as a company. In fact, in just the last month, according to Yahoo Finance updates, Gold Mining Inc.'s La Garantía project in Colombia discovered 1.45 million new ounces of inferred gold in the ground. So some of these projects are yielding amazing discoveries. Like, can you imagine getting that phone call? Yeah, we just found another 1.4 million of gold, right? Now, again, Gold Mining Inc. is trading for around $1, which is the lowest I've seen in a long time. But Wall Street analysts are saying that it should be valued at around $5.25 a share. So it's at a super discount right now and looks like it could be a great buy and hold opportunity. Now, you can go to their website and watch a video. You can also read their investor presentation, which is loaded with really good information about their assets, the companies they own, the partnerships that they have, and how holding a gold mining company can actually outperform physical gold during a bull run. So you're going to want to go check that out. Now, again, their ticker symbol is GLDG. And I want to thank Gold Mining Inc. for partnering to bring this information to me and to my YouTube community. All right, now, before you go, Casey and I are giving away $10,000 in cash to be helpful to people right here in the YouTube community. 10 of you are going to win, and that will end here in just a couple of days, and you'll be notified via the email you used to register whether you're a winner or not. So I'll make sure to leave a link down, down below. Now, before you go, I want to remind you that you are amazing. I really appreciate you stopping by today. Make sure to check out this important video and get subscribed to the channel. There's a lot of places to get your news today, so I appreciate you stopping by, and I will see you on the next video.